Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to like ink actual forms in space. So here I'm going to draw just a normal, a cube, a sphere, a cone, I guess, pyramid, four like very general shapes, a rectangle, I don't know. I have no idea what I am doing. Okay, so then now so let's say for this one, the light's coming in from here. So then I can choose, I can make it completely black. And let's say all of these, the light's coming in like this. You can see like how thin the lines can get, right? So here, so for a circle, it's always going to be like kind of extended form of that, of the like outer line of the circle is going to be like what you're generally going to follow. And for this, it's going to be just like that. And with shapes that have actual defined sides, it's kind of easier. And I'm obviously being very rough here, but I don't want this to be too long of a tutorial. So anyway, so then what you're going to do is like, here, can you see that I'm turning the paper? It's because of the flow of my hand. I can't put my hand like that, so I'm going to have it be like this. So then the lines are going to get thicker the further away that they go. And what you could also do is have them get like further apart or closer. See, that adds like the general, like it's spacing them out. And you see that like adds that sense. And then I can do cross hatching in this general direction. And what I'm going to show you is that like when you're doing something that's flat, the cross hatching usually just follows that flat line. And what you want to do is with cross hatching, take your time. So go like this. Don't do this, which I do a lot, because then your lines are not going to be great. They're not going to have the same distance. They're not going to look as great as if you do it short like that. So on a curved sphere like this, make it follow the like, see what I'm doing? Like the shape of the sphere. And same thing when you're going to cross hatch this other way. And the lines are getting further apart. Can you see that? Lines are getting like here, there. It's like I'm creating secondary circle like that, and that's where the lines are going to stay apart. With this one, I'm actually, for this one, going to make it a metallic surface. What you're going to use, you're going to have, like, generally for metallic surfaces, it's like that first light, and then you just really make kind of pretty random, like, stuff like that. And that's not great, but, I mean, it's like generally what a metallic surface would be. And then you refine that into, like, better stuff. So like that's how you're going to generally do it on very simplified shapes. And if you're going to do like a brick wall, just going to do like a couple of bricks here. Generally have like the area where they meet be like thicker, you know? And then sometimes add like double lines. And then like make sure that the double line isn't rendered. Rendering or cross hatching, they're the same thing. So then do that. That'll work, and that if you expand it, that'll be a brick wall that looks pretty decent. So another thing, if you want to dry your stuff up, which I do, I want to dry my ink up, I'm just going to pass this dirty old rag here. Okay, so then now I'm going to draw for you a star tip now. I'm going to draw like a general, very simplified arm. Then anatomy is a whole nother thing. As you can see, I'm not a great anatomical person. So anyway, so that's like the general line work. And usually if you're doing a line work, you want to do it with a 0.1, which is better to draw on, that type of stuff. But for this example, I can use a brush tip. So then what you're going to do is you're going to get this, and you're going to just, here, let's change it up. Shadow's coming from here. So then, like, obviously there's the whole how to actually shadow anatomy, which is something else, and I already have general practice with it. So then I'm just going to shadow it, and I did a bunch of black, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to render it, doing like that, and like, it's coming, since this shape is going like that and the other one's on front, these lines are going to get smaller and smaller. And cross-hatching, if you want to do it, is also going to get further and further away from the light. And like, here's a good example of something. So like, that's the torso of somebody, and then their arm is like, that's a bad example. No. So here's somebody's torso, and their arm is like that, and then their forearm is up in the light. So this is all dark, and what you want to do is you can just generally make it all like that, and if you want, but usually just keep it in one direction. The band. What you want to do is usually, like, if you want to add movement to something, put it in one line. Don't add a second line, because that can break it. Something that's a good example of that is capes. I don't remember how to do capes, but just say that's a cape. Here, and that's Superman, right? So make the capes either go like that, and then like this would be black, not like rendering, and don't make them like this, and then like that, because that can ruin the like flow. If it's like, if you want to have it flowing, that can really ruin it. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to pencil in a quick Batman sketch off screen, and then I'm going to show you how to actually ink it, and I'm going to show you 2 different ways to ink it. Two, that's 4, 2. 2 very simple Batman-like sketches, and when I'm going to ink myself, so like I plan on inking my own drawings, what I usually do is I will at the most add like a little bit of costume definition to like, okay, so that's where the mask is going to go and that type of stuff. But usually that's it. Usually I won't care about what's in front and what's behind. But when you're going to ink, when you're going to pencil for somebody else to ink, usually do all the shadow, all the rendering, pretty much as perfect as it is, and that'll help it. You know, like, it's better to do that because that way the other person doesn't have to think it up. And the reason that I do this is because I know exactly how I want this drawing to go down, and I don't need more detail than this. So here, let's have the light, really simple lighting, going like this. So obviously, like following the shape. Then this also is a lot of like knowing how the actual body like works and how the whole stuff is, but that's a whole lot of information for me to put into this, what I want to be a small video. So then I'm just very simply like adding all this type of stuff. And here there's the rest of his ear. That one's going to be all in the shadow. And then what I'm going to do is this one has to be like that. I have to be like that because of how the head works, I think. And you usually curve it like that with Batman. And leave the ear separated so that way it'll give it a whole like different feel to it. And same thing. Ink that side. So that's Batman, right? So that's one way to do it. And then I'm gonna use the brush pen because I want to kind of get this done quicker. Then you're just gonna add those lines in like that. Yeah, my pen is dying. It's dying. Then just add the general lines. That one I want mostly to be in shadow. Here you usually don't add that much on the lips, his nose. And I apologize for the crudeness of the drawing. Hopefully you don't. It's not that bad. And then another way to do it is like I would carefully go in and do like the same thing that I did for the other one, but in pencil, so like you can see right what I'm doing. And then like you don't need to have it all be perfect, but there's just have like the general thing. So like if I'm not inking it myself, so that way the inker can know exactly like, oh, he wants that to be black, and he wants that to be white, and he wants this to be crosshatched this way. So usually just have it be like that. And then when you ink it, you don't have to ink every single cross-hatching line exactly, but just have it be the same thing. And then don't change too much unless you're friends with the penciler and you know that they're gonna like it, or you have the like, not permission, but the like, you know that he's not gonna mind it too much. And then the rest you just keep it pretty much the same. And you just, okay, so he wanted that to be like that. He wanted lines here, lines like that. Boom. And then you give your signature. That's my signature. Today's the 19th. Blah, 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 blah. So hopefully you found this tutorial interesting. I suggest that you do a lot of these exercises and you try them again and again until you understand them. And if you want any other tutorials or any other video suggestions, put them in the comments or go on my Instagram and comment there. And I will see you next time.